What's going on, everybody? Get myself positioned. There we are. Backstage all nines, and we're live. Not on any particular show, on an off-schedule day for the release of Murders at Karlov Manor. I'm excited to show off this set for you guys. Secrets out. There's no early access this time, so we're just gonna do the old school release day special that we used to do, which is we start with the drafts, we rip the packs, and then we go into the brews and see if we can win some games on ladder. That's how it is. And I think today we're set up for a very exciting set. I've already got my notes on several different decks I want to build for today, depending on what rares we pull from our drafts and from our just, opening packs. Getting, buying more packs hopefully when we play some, because all the missions are reset. So we've got plenty of gold to go after, more packs to even get. And we've got a lot of gold packs to open through as well. So I'm excited. On the docket, just the first 5 decks that came to mind. First, the boring stuff. I always try every set to build mono green. If we can manage to build mono green, I always say it's a success, right? Like that's a good set. So we're gonna try to build mono green with some of the new green cards, see if there's something there. Secondarily, we're gonna add a couple of new cards to the Dimir. It's not really a control deck; it's more of a tempo aggro. But we're gonna add a couple cards to Dimir, see if Dimir becomes even stronger with some of the new cards. We got Boros Convoke to build. Boros Convoke is here. Basically a similar deck to the one in Pioneer. So we're going to see what Boros Convoke looks like in Standard. Golgari Fight Club is one that I right off the rip thought about with Massacre Girl. So maybe we tinker around with that later in the week. But one that I do want to build today is Orzhov Super Friends, featuring the brand new Kaya card. We're going to see if we can make something of an Orzhov Super Friends Spirit Tokens build with some of the different cards like Invasion of Tolvada, and, Restoration of Aganjo, a couple copies of Hallowed Haunting, and then the Super Friends package with a bunch of removal. So we're going to see about that. I also want to do some drafting. So today, hopefully we get some wins in draft. That's what I'm looking forward to. You always want to win, right? But that's something that I neglected to look up. The archetypes for draft. You gotta know what you're working with. I'm gonna look that up real quick, and we'll have that handy for when we jump into the very first segment, which is Murders at Karlov Manor Limited. All right, let's see what comes up. Limited pick order and card archetypes. All right. We got Channel Fireball. I like MTG Arena Zone. We'll pull up MTG Arena Zone. All right. Okay. So there are quite a few. Azorius, Orzhov. So basically, from what I'm seeing, there's an archetype Boros for each of the guilds. And that's probably intentional. Selesnya. Yeah, okay. So as long as we pick along the guild lines, we should be okay. Boros is obviously one that sticks out to me as very exciting. But, I'll play anything. So let's jump into it now. Murders at Karlov Manor. Premier Draft. All right, draft token time. Let's go. I have 3. It turns out 3 draft tokens. So I had 2 more than I thought. Yeah, these are filling up fast. All right, so we don't need that archetype guide. We know what's going on. All right. Right off the rip. Novice Inspector is a really good pick, as is the Lamna Su. I kind of want a one drop though. Let's get the Inspector. All right. Fenestrated Phantom. I think right off the rip, we're gonna go Boros. Oh, that's a good card. Breakout. Breakout is a really good card. Flying Disguise. Let's go for. We'll keep our options open and go for the Golgari staple. Johnny Paul, what's going on? We'll have the hat and we'll have the Rebellion merch available soon, I promise. ICPJ is always working on it. We'll have it this year, I promise. Draft engine engaged. Let's go. What else is in this pack? All right. What do we want? Tunnel Tipsters ranked really highly at the beginning of your end step. Based on creature in the battlefield, your controls put 1/1 counter Tunnel Tipster. How much disguise and pseudomorph is there in the set? You know? Hell, we'll keep our Gruul options open. Turn 2, playing a couple disguised creatures. We'll see how common the disguised creatures are. That's a decent card. Oh god, that seems pretty good actually. Are we gonna go for disguise? White green? White green might be the choice. They ranked Archdruid's Charm at 2.5. What else did they rank highly? Murder? Murder's in here. Person of interest. Galvanized. Too many instant deals 3, always great. And this one will do 5 a chunk of the time. Target creature. If you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, Galvanized deals 5. Woo! Okay. Alright. Huh. Great. 2/2 white and blue detective. Target detective control gets plus. That seems okay. That seems cool. Another breakout. Another novice inspector. Combat if able. Risk Gardener. Disguise. Search your library for a land card with a basic type. Oh, that seems really good. Oh no. Now let's go for the inspector. It was between. Yeah, that was a hard choice. Mmm. Mm. Auspicious arrival. Little battle trick. All right. I said I was keeping my options open, but we're looking at a white green deck right now. We'll see. That's a detective, too. Hmm. Yeah, that seems really good. We're gonna take that detective. Lamnasu again. Yeah, we gotta have a bomb. Or close to a bomb. It's not a bomb, exactly. Oh, damn. That seemed like an easy choice. Chugazi Inspector. Okay. We're going for white-green detectives, I guess. Maverick. Kellen Inquisitive. That's pretty cool. I'm probably not going to play blue, though. That's the card for Domain. Nervous Gardener. Now let's go for the Maverick. Yeah. Gotta have a strong base. Inside Source is also in the pack. Hmm. Neighborhood Guardian. Hmm. Let's go for the Unicorn. Hexproof as long as it's your turn. Okay. Um. Knuckle Strength seems good. Equip Detective 1. Thinking Cap. Going heavy in the 2-drop slot's not too bad. Inside Source is likely our pick. Although the Maverick is good. Hmm. Go with Inside Source to have a couple copies. Pick your poison. I don't know about in a draft environment, whether that be... a wall? Okay. I don't know about that pick, actually. Another Neighborhood Guardian? Maybe. Maniacal Strength. Due Diligence. Bite Down on Crime. Plus deals damage equal to the spell. Yeah, that's a pretty good spell. That's our only pick, but let's take some time to read it. ETBs, solve case, look at the top 6 cards of your library, and reveal an enchantment, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library, spend mana so it remain man colored cast spells. Okay. Oh, I need one of those for my Orzhov Angels deck. Case of the Gorgon's Kiss. Thinking Cap. What else? Resolving Lamnasu is here. Exile target attacking creature. Have some removal. Tunnel Tipster. Another Novice Inspector, perhaps? Yeah. Most creatures investigates and destroy all creatures. Jeez, us. Bite Down on Crime seems like a better play. Yeah, I'm an aggro deck, so I don't know that I want sweepers in my deck. I'm not sure. Crowd Control Warden. Cool. Ooh, a Surveil land. Tunnel Tipster is also in here. Let's go for the Surveil land. Lush Portico. Very cool. also need a copy of that card. Just to have. Clint Weaver. Starting to curve out a little better now. Very Snoop. Okay. Sanitation Automaton enters Battlefield Surveil 1. Okay. Alright, and that's it. I think we're going to have to cut 7. Or only 6, because we actually pulled a land. Yep, 6. And cut both of these. Cut some of the 2 drops. We have 3 to cut. Battlefield of Evidence could put a 1/1 counter target creature and you gain 2 life. Evidence 6 is a lot, is it not? I don't know, maybe I like it. At the wall. Power 2 or less. That's like almost all my creatures. What are my ratios? 20 creatures is pretty high. That's good for an aggro deck. Alright. Just gotta cut 2 things. Gotta cut 1 thing. Hmm. I don't like that one. Okay. There we go. 13, 12. Yeah, I think pretty even. All right. Here's the list. Whoo! Selesnya. Aggro. I don't know if I want to call it anything. All right, let's pick out a sleeve. We'll go with the new sleeves, probably. I have too many sleeves. They're loading. They're going to reset in a second. We'll go with the Selesnya sleeves. They're appropriate here. There's Tristani. All right. Let's go. Max damage. Can we get some wins? Can we get a trophy? Probably need some luck for that. I don't feel too confidently about this deck. It just feels like very direct. Ooh, no. No, no, no. Alright. Novice Inspector. Alright, we'll play the Portico. Hell yeah, stink that. Inside source, let's go. I love this battlefield. I'm trying to click on all the little things. It's distracting me. Word 2, lead pipe, sacrifice to draw a card. Damn. What's up, Dabo? How are you, brother? Thanks for being here, man. Ooh, I like that. That's good. Next few cards coming. Oh, damn. I fucked that up. I played that in the wrong order. Damn, that sucks. I'm doing okay. Doing okay. We're getting into our first draft. We decided to go with Selesnya. See how it works. Oh, that's cool. I need to start doing that ability. All right. A clue. Oh, snap. Card of sacrifice was suspected. Draw 2 instead. Damn. That's a big boy. Get that out of here. Alright. Fortunately, we're stuck. But the Griffin, the Griffnot Tracker, is a detective. So we'll make that a 6 power creature next turn. And every turn subsequently thereafter. Let's go. God, what's going on here? Nice. Alright, we're gonna do this. Right, we can hold on to this till next turn. If that stays on the field, we'll win. And that. Oh yeah, tell Lady P what's up. Sacrifice creature. Okay. Damn, they got a 3/4 flyer now. Do 3 damage to hurt him. Nah, you got it. Let's go. Uh-oh. Nice. Let's go. Pretty clean win. I love it. Just a clean deck. Like, a consistent clean deck. That's what that felt like. Let's go. I think the only card we picked up was the land, as far as rares go, I think. Yeah. Mulligan. Yeah, that's fine. Just a 1/1. Exile a card. Boo. Seems kind of silly. Okay. Neighborhood Guardian gets in for 3. Damn, that hurts. I'm gonna take 6 right here. Let's go. Now we're in top deck mode, though. Sucks. We gotta rely on the deck now. Damn, man. That's just gonna get worse from here. Don't even matter. Damn. Mm-mm. I might have stalled here. They have a lead pipe. Okay. Or 2. What you gonna do? God dang it. Take with 3 more creatures. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Ugh. 4-3. Try to make this awkward for them. Mother of Halflings, what's up? Thank you. Thank you for the good luck. Also, thanks for being here. Hey, we get to surveil. That's gonna help. We'll leave inside source on top. Might still win here. Let's go. We have inside source coming, so yeah. Assuming we survive right here, I think we got it. Then we'll get to do it again. Hoxton analysis, that's pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if they, yeah, they're going to draw a card here, of course. Okay, so this is Shattered Pact. That's it. We got our second win. Let's go. I hear you wanting to play the new set. Hell yeah. Y'all let me know in the chat what you're looking to build with the new set first. Or what you want to see me build. Alright. On 3. Can we get the third win? Hopefully we draw some lands. Not too many. Novice Inspector first. Cool. Sanctuary Wall. We're gonna play the Unicorn. Free card. We're both playing Selesnya. with another unicorn. Go. Nice. Land cycling, huh? This card's been coming in real handy. Probably going to be the MVP. I'm going to declare this the MVP if we get a trophy. Let's go Maverick. Spread the love. Oh, yes. We want Insider Source. We want that land, too. Oh, we messed up. I keep doing that to myself. I gotta play this second. I gotta stop playing that first. Anyway, let's attack. A lot of damage coming in. It's alright, we're working out the kinks and the bugs playing these new cards. I gotta reverse my order here. Surveil 2 is really powerful. This is a really nice one-drop. Rushing Boomkin. Nice. Shattered the gate. Let's go, Lamnasu. It's only 5 damage. And we lose 2 creatures. Let's draw some stuff. Send that across. Damn. Big tipster. Keep it going. Okay. Oh, damn. Oh yeah, we're doing that. All day long. This part doesn't matter. Let's go. Inside source. Let's go. What you got? Get that out of here. Max damage. We got 3 wins. Let's go.
He's on fire!
Tap, tap, reseed. Yep, let's do it. Three, four, five. Uh-oh. Face down card coming in. We could kill whatever that is. No, it's got Ward 2. Start sending detectives at him. Another face down card. Okay. Oh, nice. Gotta play this a little bit more carefully than I am. Okay. Playing against red. Budget technician. What the hell? Oh, hell no. That's what we gotta kill. About to be at 6 mana. Let's go. Take the 2. What? Ah! Are you kidding me? It's over. Even if we exile that thing. Alright. Took a loss. We're 3-1. I had a feeling we were going to lose that one. About halfway through. I think the hinge was I shouldn't have attacked that last attack that I sent over. You got it, I see. Alright. Rubble Belt Maverick. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll leave 1 on top. Perimeter Enforcer. Falling Lifelink. So +1 until the end of the turn. Okay. Play another unicorn. No more lies. Oh, we got countered. Actual counterspell in draft. Interesting. Sorry. Alright, let's go. In for 5. Steam Core Scholar. What an interesting looking card. A weird detective. Let's go. Oh, I can't. Messed that up. Alright, let's do this. Need 6 mana to boost that detective over there. Oh god. We gotta kill this surveillance monitor. Yeah, we just have to. No other way. Alright, got another 10. We gotta push our advantage now, because they have the card advantage. Things could turn real quick. They also have a clue out there. Good thing is we have 2 detectives on the field that they have to kill before this becomes just a 1-1 for us, basically. Let's go. Nah, don't attack with that one. Yeah, don't attack with that one. Shouldn't have. God dang it. No! My unicorn! Hey Athena, how are you? Lamnasu. Really wanna do that. Shouldn't attack. I really shouldn't attack right here. I want to keep the pressure up. My god. This is not good. Stop casting stuff. Oh my god. This sucks.
Daddy, chill.
I knew that was gonna bite me in the ass. Hell yeah, get on your grind. Love it. Doesn't matter, they've got a board state. Yeah, I lost. That sucks. Ugh, okay, so we're 3-2. I feel like those last 2 matches were gameplay errors, like, I don't know. Like in the first one we lost, we should have played a bit more defensively, not been so aggressive. In the second one we lost, we should have been more aggressive. I don't know. It's tricky, right? You don't know what's in your opponent's hand when you make those choices. All right, looking good. 1, 2, 3. And then we have a disguised creature that can do quite a bit if we have a lot of stuff on the field. All right. Let's get our 4th win. Let's go with this one first, though. Should be an interesting game. Azorius player. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun. Oh, chess guy. Trying to make 3 colors work. Interesting choice. They also personally selected these sleeves and these lands. So, Why the mismatch? I don't know. I don't know why they have Crimson Vow red, but Theros everything else. That's interesting. I gotta have the unicorn out early. Scat about. Not Boros, squirrel. 4 games, 3. Got distracted. Oh, Paradabo. I hear you, Athena. Alright. Unicorn first. Play that face down. Just want to attack with the Novice Inspector. Good creature-based strategy never goes out of style, in my opinion. Sidious Roots. Shan't tell you a lie. Somebody build a squirrel deck, please. Hmm. Turn my face down, face up here in a minute. Either that or play the Pompous Gadabout. I don't know. What should I do? Oh no! No, don't exile my mana. God dang it. Ah, curse you, opponent. Right when we... Cash in this clue. Maybe we'll draw a land. Nope. What is this, Ward 2? God dang it. Shouldn't have done that. 8-point life swing. That hurts right now. If they add anything to that board state, I am screwed. Oh my god. Why? There's the mana to flip it over. Oh. Here comes the counter spell. ICPJs, the opponent's abusing me. I mean, we're still in it, but damn, y'all. Oh. Private eye. Oh, it's literally an eye. They gotta stop with these jokes. Freaking Jess guy. At least we have 2 clues out there, you know. We can kind of start to figure it out. And multiple detectives give the +2/+0 boost to playing a strong 3/3. Let's see what they do from here. I love the artwork for this, by the way. Mole Scout. Why you gotta do that to me, man? Tracker. Wait, do they get to replay any of that? No. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. Well, that's awesome. Okay. Damn, I wish that were untap land. So close, y'all. It's 11-1. Can we come back from this? Oh my god. So their case is solved. Flint Weaver. Gain 7 life. I don't think it matters, though. Yeah, I don't think it matters. We came up short. 1 point. Alright. Well, we got 3 wins in the draft. Couldn't get to 4. Came very close, but... so close. Devastating plays for my opponent, but it didn't knock us out. We went the distance with him, so I feel pretty good about myself on that match, even though we lost. Alright. Enough sadness. Let's go rip some packs. We got 2 more to add to the pile. We can actually buy more if we wanted to as well, and I think we will. We just picked up 1,000 gems. Three away. Hmm. All right, how many do you have? 85 and 7 gold. All right. Let's do it. 10 at a time, baby. I love the animation for this, by the way, I have to say. All right. Okay, I see some things worth talking about. Breakout. Pretty cool card for Gruul. Especially Gruul aggro. Budget card, I recommend it. If you're trying to look at a quick low to the ground aggro deck, use Breakout. It'll get out your Picnic Ruiners, most of your stuff. That deck runs really low to the ground. Face up, add 2 mana. That's not worth it. Deadly let's look at uncommons. Soul Innervation. -4, -4. Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave your graveyard, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So, okay. Kill a creature. And then drain every time you collect evidence. Nah. Probably good in a limited draft situation. Deadly Complication. Choose one or both. I have to see how common being suspected is. I suspect, no pun intended. I suspect, though, it's not going to be a very common mechanic. It's just going to be in this set. So it may not be present a ton unless somebody builds a deck based off of it. I don't know. Escape. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a 1/1 counter on Gleam. Now this, okay, that's something somebody could work with. Whenever you sack an artifact, put a 1/1 counter. That's treasure tokens, clue tokens. Thank you, Shoni. Bust and bother. Oh boy. Now, the bother side doesn't seem very great. Maybe it is. Maybe you're flooding out really bad in Boros Convoke. I mean, is this a card for Convoke? The 3, put a 1/1 counter on each attacking creature you control. I think that's a decent enough card to include in our build. I don't know, y'all. I mean, it might be. So, perhaps lead pipe. Case of the Shattered Pact. Basic land card revealed in your hand. To solve, there are 5 colors among permanents you control. Solved at the beginning of combat in your turn, target creature you control gains flying, double strike, and vigilance until the end of the turn. That's it's tempting to include in domain, right? I mean, make your Archangel of Wrath do 6 life gaining damage, and vigilance is great on a creature like that. You don't. I'm trying to think, like, what creature could we put in domain to really make the solved part of this card worth a damn, and I don't think we have to be too artificial about it. Also, giving Bonehorde Dracosaur vigilance and double strike, giving the 5 mana green god Odric Caslim um flying double strike and vigilance, hitting twice with that card. Oh my god. All right, let's think about it. You let me know, Athena, what you think of that, by the way. All right. Cool. Yeah, I understand that. I figure I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Like, is it better than Up the Beanstalk? I mean, it guarantees us a land drop. Um, which is what I use Up the Beanstalk for anyway. I never count on being able to cast the 5-drop. It helps to draw cards in that situation, but I've only got one copy of Up the Beanstalk in my domain decks now because you end up milling yourself when you play Atraxa, right? Like, I don't know. There's so many variables. Undercity Eliminator, 5 mana Gorgon Assassin. When you do exile target creature an opponent controls. Holy moly! Okay. You get a second artifact or a creature, and it costs 5 though. Torch the Witness. Twice X damage to a creature. If excess damage was dealt that creature this way, investigate. Does red want this? Sideboard piece to kill Shellys and whatnot? I don't know. Torch the Witness is something to think about. Cease and desist. Haha. So on the cease side, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Target player gains 2 life and draws a card. On the desist side, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Whoa. So we have a artifact enchantment killer. Just in case those decks get out of hand, right? Does cost 6 though. Insidious Roots. Everybody's been telling me to look at this card. Which one are you kind of high on? Undercity Eliminator? Or no, Torch the Witness, I'm sure. What you're talking about. Insidious Roots. Creature tokens you control have tap. Add 1 mana of any color. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. Then put a 1/1 counter on each plant you control. Jesus Christ. Remember that, what was it, like a 5 mana card? A Shauna or something? That, like, no, it wasn't Shauna. It was in that set, though, that created a bunch of plant tokens and then just overran you with plant tokens. You can give them a big boost plus trample. Anyway, Insidious Roots. Okay. Are we creating tokens in Golgari colors, though? trying to think. Cease and desist, you like it? Essence of Antiquity, Disguise. Creatures you control gain hexproof until the end of the turn and untap them. And it's a 1/10 artifact golem. Yeah, that's pretty cool for the cards that are like do damage with your toughness rather than your power. Um, that's cool. Something that targets each creature. I don't know. There's too much stuff out there. Convenient target. 1 cost red enchantment. Suspect enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +1/+1. Turn from your graveyard to your hand. Woo, okay. Alright, so red aggro, Gruul aggro, get to come in for big damage and be unblocked. I mean, does the Picnic Ruiner deck want this? Let's go ahead and write down, yeah. Gruul aggro with, breakout, convenient target. Okay. What else? No More Lies, of course. The counterspell of the year that everybody's talking about. Um, very cool. You know, I mean, just know it exists. Holograph Orb. Whoa. I mean, it costs 5. You'd probably want to build around this rather than just kind of like have a one of in your deck. Um, but interesting. Somebody's going to build a deck with that. I am sure of it. The Azorius Surveil Land is our first rare. Officious Interrogation. Each target beyond the first. Choose any number of target players. Investigate X times or X is the total number of creatures those players control. Okay. The control scheme. Maybe you have a ton of mana. Maybe they have a ton of tokens. Maybe you cast this and then you board wipe. You know? Azorius Control is going to be back. Mark my words. There are enough cards for you to just go Azorius Control. Golgari Surveil Land. I've been looking forward to this card because I think Esper Legends is coming back as well. There's enough Legends in that color set to bring back that deck. I'm going to build it. The return of Esper Legends will be pretty cool. Total of 7 mana, you invest in this creature, and everything else becomes indestructible. I mean, why wouldn't you want that in a creature-based deck? The question becomes, is this worth it in something like Boros Humans as well? And I think it is. I think you use this in something like Boros Humans, maybe not Boros Convoke. There's too many spots competing in the 2-drop slot for Boros Convoke, but I think a Boros Humans kind of build, or a Mono White Humans kind of build even, could benefit from this. Boros Surveil Land, Aurelia the Law Above. 5 drops are hard to justify. It does have haste, and it's got flying, and it's got vigilance. So very good stat lines, 4/4. Whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, you draw a card. So you want this to do its thing turn that you drop it, right? You want to be attacking with 3 or more creatures, and you've already got one here. Whenever a player attacks with 5 or more, deals 3 damage to each of your opponents, you gain 3 life. So this goes either in the Convoke. 5 is too much, though. But either in the Convoke or in the trying to think. In like the Naya Legends build, that's also a deck. So we got plenty of options for Boros. I think this one's more of a like a Naya Legends card, to be honest. I think a Bun says One new card you're excited about is Case of the Flitch Falcon. Hopefully we pull that. We can talk about it. UW control feels good, but the meta's so wide you can't build your deck against everything. That's pretty bad for a control deck. Yeah, you're right. Control decks are going to they age like wine, right? Over the course of the meta, you'll see them get stronger and stronger. And so we'll see, like probably by week 4 or 5, we'll start to see control come back. At first, it's going to be all aggro, is my prediction. Steam Core Scholar. When ETBs, you draw 2 cards and discard 2 unless you discard an instant or sorcery or a creature card with flying. So discard a Siren, perhaps? I don't know. Nothing's coming to mind right off the rip this fits into. Undergrowth, Recon, a 3-cost green enchantment, 2 greens, 2 green devotion in the cost. That's pretty hard for decks that aren't domain or mono green. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tab. So does the Golgari land deck want this? Is the question. I don't know that it does. I think it has plenty of other ways to bring back necessary creature lands from the graveyard or activate Titania. So I don't know. I don't know that it does. Bull Strider, 3-cost is it vehicle. Collect evidence 6 and it becomes an artifact creature until the end of the turn. Otherwise, you have to crew 2. It's a 4/4. Whenever it attacks, you can cast an instant or sorcery spell from among cards exiled with it. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, put it on the bottom of the library instead. Okay, so what did we just come across? Came across this. So these are an obvious match right next to each other, right? Whatever the Izzet deck is, or Jeskai perhaps, has these two like side by side. Then we got a Mythic Wildcard. All right, let's open the next 10. I promise it doesn't go this slowly the whole time because we'll get less and less new cards as we go along. And I'm also not going to want to talk about all of them. Just the ones that pique my interest or I haven't really gotten to take a look at yet during spoiler season. Get a leg up as a defensive card against flyers, right? But also, think about the Gruul Picnicker deck. It gives the card some defense. I don't know. Lumbering Laundry. Nope, that's stupid. Reckless Detective. 2-cost Devil Detective. Whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. If you do, draw a card, and it gets +2/+0 into the end turn. So get through your deck. It becomes a 2/3. Interesting stat line. Right? Do you play this in Rakdos with an Ob Nixilis? If you already have this out on turn 2, your Ob Nixilis doesn't have to create a devil. You can just +1/+1 both of them. I don't know. It's something to think about. This coming in off Kumano, it becomes a 1/4, and then when you do the ability, it's a 3/4. And this is whenever it attacks. I don't know. Mono Red may want it. Gruul may want it. Dual Leech. Target creature controlled power 2 or less gets +1/+0 and gains Death Touch until the end of the turn at the beginning of combat every turn. It does cost 4. There's a ton of stuff competing in that slot. I don't know that this gets it in, but maybe in like Rakdos Sacrifice Anvil deck where you have a lot of 1/1 little golem tokens. If y'all are coming up with any ideas, let me know. Yeah, you're probably right. Splendid Wreck on a creature is better than... Yeah. Might mess around with Jeskai again. Zergo and Ojutai is cracked now that we have Helix. That is good to think about. Frantic Skate. I love the art. This gets the vote for one of my favorite artworks. Right, at least top 3. Like, I love it. And I've heard the artist Jesper Edgsing does a lot of artwork in this style. Like the bugged out creatures. And I think the bugged out goat is one of my favorite artworks. Frantic Scapegoat is a 1/1 with haste goat for 1. When ETBs suspect it, so that gives it can't block and menace. Whenever one or more other creatures enter the battlefield under your control, if it is suspected, you may suspect one of the other creatures. If you do, this creature is no longer suspected. So constantly give stuff menace. I mean, be able to give stuff menace after turn 1. I don't know. I feel something coming between mono red and Gruul. +1/+0 and first strike. That's pretty decent. And then it still has the sacrifice it to draw card ability as well. A lot of sacrifice artifact stuff in here. I'm noticing. The 1/1 counter and you add red mana. That's pretty cool. Vengeful Tracker is a 2-cost human detective. Whenever an opponent sacrifices an artifact, deal 2 damage to them. It's probably just a limited only kind of thing. I don't see that being that's too niche. Call a Surprise Witness for 2. 1 and a white. It's a sorcery. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a flying counter on it, and it's a spirit in addition to its other types. Esper Mentor wants this. Yeah, it just does. Mentor decks in general. Push and pull. So for 2, destroy target tapped creature. We've seen that ability before. There's a 1-cost white card that does that. And pull is a 6-cost sorcery. Put up to 2 creature cards from a single graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. They gain haste till the end of the turn, then sack them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that card. All right, Treacherous Greed. Let's go. Orzhov needed this. Sack a creature that dealt damage this turn. Draw 3 cards. Each opponent loses 3 life. You gain 3 life. So, sacking tokens feels really good, like Wedding Announcement tokens. Orzhov Angels might be able to use this to get that boost to 5 with Resplendent Angel. I don't know. There's a lot of other scenarios where this card works in as well. There just aren't coming to mind, but I know this is going to be a heavy favorite card right now. It's getting a lot of talk. Assemble the Players also is getting a lot of talk. A 2-cost enchantment. Look at the top card of your library at any time. Once each your turn, you may cast a creature spell with power 2 or less from the top of your library. I don't know that aggro wants this. There's other things that I would prefer to do on turn 2, right? But in a stall situation, pretty cool card. I think what really wants this card more than anything. Cryptex. Drag the Canal, I have seen already get some play for Dimir. Instant, create 2/2 white and blue detective. Creature token. If the creature died this turn, you gain 2 life, surveil 2, and then investigate. That's a ton of abilities. In a deck like Dimir, where you're capable of a lot of 1/1 creature removal. And surveilling 2, as we saw in that draft, is a very powerful ability. So I don't know. Kind of, we'll have to look at it. We'll have to look at Drag the Canal. What else? Outrageous Robbery. Y'all already know what's up with this card. That's wild for a control deck, right? That's wild for like Rakdos control, Orzhov control. Also, a deck that gains advantages pretty easily, like Golgari, Dimir, Mono Black, with its hand hate. If you get ahead, card sounds awesome, but if you're behind, I don't know. Against aggro, especially an aggro heavy meta, you probably want this in the sideboard. So, Outrageous Robbery to the sideboards of black base decks. Or build around it. I don't know. Play a control deck that can handle the heavy aggro. There's Krenko's Buzz Crusher. This card's been getting some talk. Artifact Insect Thopter, 4/4, flying and trample. It costs 4, including 2 red. When it ETBs, for each player, disrupt a 1 non-basic that player controls, non-basic land. For each land destroyed this way, its controller may search for a basic land and put it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. Yeah, right now, 3-color decks are vulnerable. Domain's not vulnerable to this. It plays enough basics. But Esper certainly is vulnerable to this. Creature land-based heavy decks like Golgari might be vulnerable to this. Some Golgaris don't have a single basic in them, or they'll have a single basic. Yeah, interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if this sees some play. I don't think it does in like mono red. I think this sees play in something like an artifact Izzet deck, possibly Jeskai. I don't know. It does call for 2 dual reds, so if big red comes back, I could see this going in that deck. Analyze the pollen. You can collect 8, evidence 8 if you want. Search for a basic. But if the evidence was collected, you can instead search your library for a creature or land card. Reveal that, put it in your hand, then shuffle. I'm going to play around with this card in the Fight Club deck. The Fight Club deck is jank. I'm just going to say that right now. Blood Splatter Analysis. Your damage target creature an opponent controls. Okay, that's cool. So it acts like a spell, like a regular instant sorcery. Whenever one or more creatures die, mill a card, put a bloodstain counter on it. Sacrifice if it has 5 or more. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah. Yeah. I think if I keep seeing hyper aggro, I think I'm putting this in Rakdos. There's just so many scenarios where I'm removing creatures, and then late game I like have nothing left. This gets me something that I want. And it doesn't cost anything to sack it either to get that card into your hand, so you could possibly cast it after doing so. Archdrew's Charm seems pretty cool for mono green, but that's a given. I mean, I don't think... Does Domain want this? I don't think it does. I don't know, maybe. It does kind of ramp. Intrude on the Mind is an interesting card. Athena the Bun can tell you all about it. This is one that definitely goes in an Azorius control. Heavy control list. Puts a body on the board. Pumps it up, right? Gets cards in your hand. Yeah. Gets cards in your graveyard too if you want to collect evidence later as well. So pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, let's go on to the next set of cards. As we go through this, I'm going to talk about less and less. I think we've covered quite a bit of the exciting stuff. Let's see. Curious Inquiry. That's kind of cool. It's kind of like the Curiosity card, but you don't draw, you investigate. Which I guess if you're trying to get artifacts out there, like on the heavy, you're playing like an Izzet artifact deck, this could be pretty cool, especially if you're playing with Thopters. And the Bun's verdict on that card, Intrude on the Mind, is in the chat. Not as good as we thought, huh? Okay. Interesting. A Sphinx Detective. I love Sphinxes, and this artwork is pretty cool. This also gets my vote for one of the top artworks in the set. I just love Sphinxes, and it's a Sphinx Detective. Icy, look. Sphinx Detective. I know. Isn't it cool? Don't you want to play out of that?
Look at his little hat.
Huh?
Look at his little hat.
His little hat is so cool. Alright, what does he do? He's a 4/3 flyer. When an ETB, search your graveyard, hand, and or library for a card named Magnifying Glass or Thinking Cap and put them onto the battlefield. That's adorable. I'm sorry, that's an adorable card. Buried in the Garden. A 4-cost Selesnya enchantment, enchant land. When ETBs exile target non-land permanent you don't control until it leaves. Whenever Enchanted Land is tapped for mana, its control adds an additional 1 mana of any color. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I read that card before, but, like, come on now. Domain, y'all. I know it costs 4, but it gets you there in certain situations, right? I don't know. It might cost too much. I'm getting too excited. If it costs like 2 or 3, yeah. But it's any permanent. Ugh, that's tough. Lightning Helix, 3/3. It might be what Boros needs to just get there. A lot of times when I'm playing Boros aggro, I get them to like 3 or less life, and then they stabilize and turn it on me, or gummy up the board, and I can't attack anymore. So, Lightning Helix is a cool card known for helping the aggro decks get there. Case of the Gorgon's Kiss is one that I want to put into my Orzhov Angels. Really cool for a 1-drop because you get to destroy a creature that was dealt damage this turn. So you block with something, chump block, destroy. And then to solve it, say they board wipe your Angels, right? You get to come back with a 4/4 Gorgon with Death Touch and Lifelink when you reset. So I don't know. If I'm playing a heavy control kind of meta, heavy board wipe meta, maybe I slot this into a couple slots in the sideboard. We'll see. I'm trying to think of the ceilings for all these cards as we go through them. That's why you're seeing me be very overly positive. Eventually, when we get to the deck building phase with all this throughout the week, like I'm gonna cull all the stuff that doesn't work, obviously. Um, Aftermath Analyst, a 2-cost elf detective. Whenever it ETBs, mill 3 cards. For 4, sack it and return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. Now that's cool. That is cool. You get, yeah, I think the Golgari land deck really wants this. The Jund land deck as well. The Slogurk decks want it as well. Wrench is that clue equipment. Gives +1/+1 in vigilance, and you can tap down creatures. That makes lore sense because you can knock them out over the head, right? And then you could, of course, sack it to draw a card if you wish for 2. Layering Onlooker, a 2-cost flying 1/3 vampire, which is a pretty cool stat line. For 4, you can exile it from your graveyard to create 2 tapped 1/1 black bat creature tokens with flying. This is pretty cool. There's a lot of Gix decks out there, you know. Maybe Dimir wants this. You get a pretty cool, but I don't know if it wants this over Deep Cavern Bat, right? We already have Deep Cavern Bat. Yeah, I don't know. I think Deep Cavern Bat is better because you go 1-up on the opponent by removing their critical card. So, nah. Oh boy, Living Conundrum. This is interesting. For 5, you get a hexproof 2/5 elemental. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, skip the draw instead. So you can't mill yourself. As long as there are no cards in your library, it has base power, toughness 10/10, has flying and vigilance. Do you sideboard this in if you're playing the Domain Mirror? Like, right? Could you imagine? You sideboard, the opponent sideboards in Jace to mill you out, and you start milling yourself, and then somewhere along the way you play this. It has hexproof, and you beat out the. That's thinking 2 steps ahead. I don't know. That's thinking too far ahead for me. I think. Case of the Trampled Garden. I think this is too slow. Mono Green may want this though. Gruul Aggro may want this. I don't know that it does. It's kind of a win more in that situation. I think they get there before this card has any effect. Huge on this card? What are you huge on? Sorry, I missed it. You gotta tell me the name of the card because I'm going through them pretty fast now. Are you talking about Living Conundrum? It can be countered. Yeah, it can be countered. And it costs 5. Kind of horrendous. Alright. Let's go ahead and open the rares. Yaris Roar of the Old Gods. A 4-cost Centaur Druid. Gruul colors. Other creatures you control have haste. Whenever one or more face-down creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Whenever a face-down creature you control dies, return it to the battlefield face-down under its owner's control. If it's a permanent card, then turn it face up. Okay, that's pretty cool, but is Gruul playing a lot of Disguise? I didn't realize it was. If I see more synergy with this, that is pretty cool. World Source Rage. X damage to any target. Put up to X land cards from your hand in or graveyard under the battlefield tapped. What wants this? Does Domain want it? Does Gruul Dinos want it? Aftermath Analyst, yeah, I saw that you were huge on that. A rare wild card is the best in the set. Way better than a mythic wild card. What about World Soul's Rage? Does anybody want this? X damage to any target, X land cards from your hand or graveyard into the battlefield tapped. Even if you do it for 2, that's going ahead pretty. Like, I think we sideboard this, honestly. I think we do. I'm gonna test with it. I didn't think about it, but like Jund might want it as well. Domain's probably the only niche deck that would want this, that can afford to kill one creature and ramp up 2. Um, if it gets, especially if it gets ahead, I don't know. No Witnesses is a new board wipe, as if White needed a new board wipe. Sorcery for 4. Each player who controls the most creatures investigates, then destroy all creatures. I mean, I guess like we get 1 card for all the creatures on the board. Like if you're playing against Boros with this, that's a feel bad for Boros, even if they have a ton of creatures on the board. Rakdos, Patron of Chaos, a 6-cost legendary demon, 6/6 flying trample. Beginning of your end step, target opponent sacrifices 2 non-land, non-token permanents. They don't. You draw 2 cards. Do you see Rakdos ramping to this? Like the Rakdos control deck? Hmm. It doesn't have an effect when it hits. Like if they remove it before your end step, that's gonna feel terrible. Tristani, 3 Whispers. Happens to actually cost 3. 4/4 for 3 is not too bad, and then it has these abilities where you can tap 2, including a green, to give something Death Touch. You can tap a white or a green to give something Vigilance. You can tap 3, including a white, to give something Double Strike, and that I think that last one's pretty cool. I'm not sure where this slots in though. It requires you to play Selesnya. Alquist Proft, Master Sleuth, a 3-cost, including Azorius in the cost, Legendary Human Detective, 3/3 with Vigilance. When he enters the battlefield, investigate. X, white, blue, blue, tap, sacrifice a clue, and you draw X cards and gain X life. So makes your clue tokens super, super valuable. I thought about this initially for Esper Legends. Because I do see myself like the flip side of Denick creates clue tokens whenever you use Rafine's ability, right? So this could really pump up those clue tokens. Alquist Prof to Esper Legends. We're gonna test it. All right, keep going. I'm getting so many wild cards off this. I just love it. All right. There's Long Goodbye. 2-cost instant for black. Spell can't be countered. Destroy target creature Planeswalker with Planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. I think that's gonna see some heavy usage. Right. We initially had Anoint with Affliction. This might take that place, but Anoint with Affliction exiles, so I don't know. Probably not. Meddling Youths for 5. Human Detective 4/5 with haste. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, investigate. It costs 5 though, so I don't see this going in the deck that wants that kind of capability. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Does Jeskai Mentor want this? Surveillance Monitor, 4 cost, Vidalcan Detective, 3/3. Whenever it ETBs, you may collect evidence. 4. Whenever you collect evidence, create a 1/1 color Sopter artifact creature token with flying. Athena Blunt says, long goodbye, save me against Lily as Dimir control. Very cool, very cool. Bay Flight. When an ETB has flash, when it ETBs, you can give something hexproof, and that thing has +1/+0 and flying. Yeah, I like that. It does save something important, and it also, yeah, I see Mono Blue. I see Esper Mentor, which has Jin in it. Yeah, Mentor decks. There's Fuss and Bother. Case of Pilfered Proof for detective decks. It doesn't add up as interesting. I thought about playing this Reanimator card. It's instant speed on Olivia Crimson Bride because she already has haste. So you can return target creature card from graveyard to the battlefield, suspect it, so instantly give it menace, and then bring in something else. It would be a pretty cool play, but I don't know how often I would get that scenario. Sample Collector, a 3-cost Troll Detective, 2/3. Whenever Sample Collector attacks, you may collect Evidence 3, and when you do, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Yeah. Mono Green, perhaps? It does cost 3. I don't know. It's pretty light. It's a 2/3. You're gonna want to attack with it every turn to really get, and you're gonna want to be losing cards or burying cards. I don't know how often that scenario is gonna be a live scenario when we're playing mono green. Okay. Ill-timed explosion, a 4-cost sorcery. It says draw 2. You may discard 2. When you do, it deals X damage to each creature, where X is the greatest mana value among cards discarded this way. Holy moly! So that spells Izzet deck has a board wipe. Sort of, kind of. I mean, it's something to think about. Unyielding Gatekeeper, a 2-cost Elephant Cleric. Disguise 2, when it's turned face up, exile another target non-land permanent. If you controlled it, return it to the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, its controller creates a 2/2 white-blue detective creature token. I'm sure there's some scenarios where you definitely want to, like, bring stuff back in and cash in on the ETB. You know what I mean? Relive the past. I don't see anybody putting in any deck. I just don't. Unless you get to cast it for free somehow. I just don't see this happening. Kellen Inquisitive Prodigy. Cool. So Simic gets an interesting ramp card. Get to investigate and play an additional land. And then for 4, including Simic, comes in as a 3/4 detective. Flying Vigilance, whenever he attacks, destroy up to 1 target artifact. If you controlled that permanent, draw a card. So you get to cash in your clues for free. Okay. Feel like you have to build around it, though. Reenact the Crime, a 4-cost, triple blue devotion instant. Exile target online card in a graveyard that was put there from anywhere this turn and copy it. You may cast the copy without. Wow. Holy moly. You put this into Mirror. I mean, you put this into Mirror with some good removal. Copy whatever you just removed. Holy crap. I don't know, guys. That seems testable. Maybe a little bit detestable. I know I'm the worst. Okay. Vanifar Evolved Enigma. A 4-cost elf ooze wizard. What a card type. Man, elves just get it on with anything, don't they? An elf ooze wizard. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one, cloak a card from your hand, or put a 1/1 counter on each colorless creature you control. To cloak a card, put it on the battlefield face down as a 2/2. Turn face up for its mana cost if it's a creature. Huh. Okay. Nothing comes to mind. Lost in the Maze. When Lost in the Maze enters the battlefield, tap X, target creatures, put a stun counter on each of those you don't control. Tap creatures you control have hexproof. I mean, Merfolk is a deck. Yeah, Merfolk is a deck. I don't know. I don't know that it wants it, though. Maybe, against the other hyper aggro stuff, sideboard it in. All right. Running out of stuff to talk about. Let's speed through this a little bit more. Five cost instant red spell. Can't be countered. Gain control of target creature until the end of the turn. It gains haste. Suspect it. That might be useful. Maybe. It does cost 5, though. Case of the Getaway Express. 2-cost white case. ETBs. Choose target creature you don't control. Each creature you control deals 1 damage to that creature. So kill something. To solve, 3 or more creatures attack this turn. Solve. Creatures you control get +1/+0. Okay. I may want to put this in Boros, guys, or in Mono White Humans. Okay. Scene of the crime. Crawl Whipcracker. Destroy a token. Meh. Forum Familiar. Talked about Reckless Detective. Fester Leech. A 1-cost zombie leech. Remember, does combat damage to a player. You mill 2 cards. That's not too bad if you're doing a self-mill game plan. Interesting. This is one I wanted to look at. Karlov Watchdog for 4, including a white. A 3/2 dog with vigilance. Permanents you control can't be turned face up. Can't be turned face up during your turn. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of the turn. God, if it costs 3, right? Like, yeah, how often are we getting to 4 mana in that deck? But, I mean, this is why we test. Maybe it's worth it to bring up the curve to 4. Case of the Burning Mask. Okay, let's open the rares. Coveted Falcon, a 3-cost artifact bird, 1/4. Flying. When Coveted Falcon attacks, gain control of target permanent you own but don't control. Disguise for 2. When turn face up, target opponent gains control of any number of target permanents you control. Draw a card for each one they gain control of this way. So, a Dimir deck with Archfiend of the Dross, where you remove the counters, and give it to the opponent at the end of their turn before it gets its last counter removed. That'd be the jank I would build if I were thinking about this card. Let me know, you guys, if you can think of any other scenarios. Case of the Uneaten Feast, right up your alley. I'll have to check that out. Prof's Eidetic Memory, a 2-cost legendary enchantment. When at ETBs draw a card, you have no maximum hand size, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than one card this turn, put X1/1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn minus 1. I think we want this in Esper. I mean, we really might. I don't know. Thinking about it. There's War Leader's Call. No secret. Everybody wants to build around this card. A 3-cost enchantment with Boros in the cost. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, deals 1 damage to each opponent. So, Boros Convo definitely wants this card. We already know that. Doorkeeper Thrall. A 2-cost Thrall, 1/2 flash and flying. Artifacts and creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. Holy moly. That's an Atraxis stopper. That's an Atraxis stopper. What deck wants it? Esper in the sideboard? 1 mana less than Tidebinder. Judith. This time she costs 5. Jeez. 3/4 legendary human shaman. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose one. That spell gains death touch and lifelink. Or create a 2/2 red imp creature token with when this creature dies, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Hmm. Did I just open Nif Mizzet? I did. I forgot to read Nif Mizzet. See if there's anything we didn't talk about. Six Dragon Avatar, flying hexproof from multicolored. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it deals X damage to any target. Target player draws X cards, and you gain X life, where X is the number of different color pairs among permanents you control that are exactly 2 colors. I think the other than being a commander card, I think like the Joda deck might want this. There's quite a few creatures in the Joda deck. They're 2 color. This will be probably a best of 1 build. I don't see myself building that for best of 3. All right, let's finish up. We got 35 packs left. Vein Ripper. A 6-cost, including 3 black in the cost, Vampire Assassin. 6/5 flying ward is sacrifice a creature. Whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Right, can you imagine having Archfiend of the Dross and this on the battlefield when you cast something like Path of Peril on like a Bant Toxic opponent? That would be devastating. It makes me think about the Massacre Worm effect. Okay. Pride of the Whole Clade, 10 and a green, legendary Crocodile Elk Turtle. What the? What the? What have the Simic Guild been doing? 215 is the stat. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total toughness of creatures you control. Defender. For 4, including 2 blue, until the end of the turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. Draw cards equal to its toughness and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. What? What? Man, play this in mono green? No, don't play this in mono green because you can't use the blue. Damn. Damn. I have a. I have a Simic deck this can go in. I do. I honestly do. It's a jank ass Simic deck. It's Simic lands, and it has a bunch of elves and like Simic cards that make lands into creatures. Um, hmm, hmm. This has my jank button tickled. This card is ridiculous. This card is absurd. It presents a challenge. I'll have to revive that deck just for this one night. Yes, Tatyova. Yes. Yes. Me too. Me too. Yes, that's the exact deck I'm thinking of. That's the exact one. You know exactly what I'm talking about. On that note, let me take a sip. I've been talking my your ears off, I'm sure. Okay. We also get Ansrog the Quake Mole. Everybody wants to make this card playable. You got to give it haste. Like you have to give it haste to make it playable. Otherwise, um, hmm. Deadly Cover Up, right? If you do the Evidence 6 when you do this, then you get to exile something and all copies of it from the graveyard. You don't necessarily have to exile something that's already on the board. Think about that. You could exile, you could mill their Atraxa and exile it before they cast an Atraxa. I don't know, something to think about. Tolsmere Midnight's Light, an Elf Scout for 5. 3/2 with lifelink that says when ETBs create Foja Fenstalker, a legendary 5/5 white wolf creature token with trample. Whenever a wolf you control attacks, if Tolsmere attack this combat, target creature an opponent controls blocks that wolf this combat if able. Deadly Cover Up. Reckless Stormseeker and Ansrog, yes. Yes. Stormseeker into Ansrog for sure. I think that's also a challenge. Like, I have to build that now. Alright, another copy of 10th District Hero. We're good. Open another 10. I think we're out of stuff to talk about. Soul Search. 2 cost, sorcery, white and a black. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. Exile. If the card's mana value is 1 or less, create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. I think that's worthy of writing down. Both as a control Orzhov control card and my Orzhov Angels. We're also going to try to build an Orzhov Super Friends Spirit token deck with the new Naya. So this goes in all three of those. So I'm just going to write down Soul Search to Orzhov. Nah. Forcing Boomkin to mono green. It's +1/+1 for each forest you control. Disguise 5. When it's turn face up, search your library for 2 forest cards revealed and put them on the battlefield tapped, and then other into your hand. Maybe? I don't know. It is a plant elemental and goes with that other card that calls for plant elementals to get huge boosts. So maybe there's something to that. I don't know. Any event. There's Wojek Investigator. This one's going to Orzhov Angels for sure. Yeah. Wojek Investigator is a 3-cost angel detective. 2/4 with flying and vigilance. At the beginning of your upkeep, investigate once for each opponent who has more cards in hand than you. There's Doppelgang. I said on the State of the Meta that this card could go in Bant Toxic as kind of like a one of to really just put the kibosh on the opponent, especially if you have Rot Priest out. You can copy Rot Priest and also put out poison counters based on how many Rot Priests you target, and also widen your board. Get some more Jawbone duelists out there. Case of the Ransacked Lab for 3, one including 1 blue. Instant and sorcery spells you cast 1 less to cast. Solve, you've cast 4 or more instant sorceries this turn. It's solved whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell. Draw a card. Oh, when it's solved, sorry, whenever you do cast, draw a card. Wow. Okay. Zori's Control? They had to bring back Azorius Control, right? For flavor reasons. We're back on Ravnica. Alright, Chalk Outline. 4-cost enchantment with green. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 white and blue detective. Sudden Setback, a 4-cost blue instant. The owner of target spell or non-land permanent puts it on top or bottom of their library. Terrible version of Aethergust. Harried Dronesmith, a 4-cost human artificer in red, 2/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 Thopter. It gains haste. Sack it at the end of the beginning of your next end step. Presumed Dead. We've seen this card in multiple forms before. Alright. Nice. Elegant Parlor. We get the Boros Surveil. Case of the Stash Skeleton. 2, including a black. When the ETBs create a 2/1 black skeleton, suspect it. To solve, you control no suspected skeletons. When solved, you can pay 2, sacrifice the case, search your library for a card, put it in your hand. So you get to tutor. Okay. Alright. That's pretty cool. I think Mono Black definitely wants it. I genuinely do. What else? Can't think of too much else. Domain may want it to tutor up a Traxa or a ramp card that they need. I don't know, but but if you're doing that, you're playing a black-based domain as opposed to a white-green-based domain. So take of that what you will. Hide in Plain Sight, a 4-cost sorcery. Look at the top 5 of your library, cloak 2 of them, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Sewers. Connecting the Dots, a 2-cost enchantment in red. Whenever a creature you control attacks, exile a top card of your library face down. For 2, including a red, discard your hand, sacrifice it, put all cards exiled with connecting dots into the owner's hand. Whoa. With Phoenix Chick, all day. All day. I think this goes to red. I think we're gonna have to rebuild red. Errata, Deadly Fugitive, Vampire Assassin for 3, including Dimir. 1/4 with Death Touch. Face down creatures you control have 4, including Dimir. Turn this creature face up. If you can't exile it, then you may cast the exile card without paying its mana cost. Whenever an assassin you control deals combat damage to an opponent, cloak the top card of that player's. Oh, you get to steal their creatures. That's wild. That's wild. Definitely play that in the deck with a new Massacre Girl. Last 5. We get a bunch of nice Surveil lands. Love to see that. Alright, let's open the Golden Packs. Got Expedited Inheritance. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Another mono red piece. Incinerator of the Guilty. A 6-cost mythic dragon. 6/6 with flying and trample. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may collect evidence X. When you do, deals X damage to each creature and planeswalker. I love that. And planeswalker that player controls. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Delney Streetwise Lookout. I've also heard this needs to go in Esper Legends. Expedited has me thinking Explorer. You have that dino that deals damage to your creatures when they ETB. That's true. Huh. Huh. Didn't think about that. Delney Streetwise Lookout, a 3-cost human scout 2/2. Creatures you control power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. If an ability of a creature you control power 2 or less triggers, it triggers an additional time. Some people are talking about this for Esper Rafine. Agris Coast, Spirit of Justice, 4 costs, including Boros, Legendary Spirit Detective. It's from Yu Yu Hakusho. Anyway, 2/4, Double Strike Vigilance. Whenever Agris Co, Spirit of Justice enters the battlefield or attacks, choose up to 1 target creature. If it's suspected, exile it. Otherwise, suspect it. You can start to do away with stuff on their board if you want. That's interesting. Alright, we also got Conspiracy Unraveler, a 7-cost Sphinx Detective. 6/6 flyer. You can collect Evidence 10 rather than pay the mana cost for spells that you cast. Ooh. That's pretty hefty. Hunted Bone Brute, a 3-cost skeleton beast, 6/2 with menace. When ETBs, target opponent creates 2 1/1 white dog creature tokens. When it dies, each opponent loses 3 life. Aw, you get the means to defend yourself against it, but you lose 3 life when you do. Okay. For 3? And it's got Disguise 2. Huh. I don't know. It's kind of a weird card. I'd have to think about, like, alternative uses for that. That's weird. The Zuni Center of the Web. Really cool if you're playing with tokens, right? Does create 2/1 black and green spider tokens with Menace and Reach off the rip. That's a 6-cost creature. It's hard to justify. We've also got Kylox Visionary Inventor, 7-cost Vishano Artificer, a 4/4 with Menace Ward 2 and Haste. Whenever the Inventor attacks, sacrifice any number of other creatures, then exile the top X cards of your library where X is their total power. And cast any number of instant sorceries from among the exile cards without paying their mana costs. Cost 7, though. That's too much. Alright. Barbed Servitor is interesting. It's a 4-cost artifact construct, 1/1 with indestructible. When ETB suspect it, when it deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card and lose 1 life. Whenever it's dealt damage, target opponent loses that much life. That's a pretty cool 4-drop. I mean, it costs 4. That's a lot for a 1/1, but it has indestructible. It has the potential to be a great defender and a great attacker, especially in the Gix deck. So I don't know, maybe. There's Case of the Crimson Pulse, a 3-cost case. When ETBs, discard a card, then draw 2. To solve, you have no cards in hand. When solved, at the beginning of your upkeep, discard your hand and draw 2 cards. All right. That's everything. A Phyrexian Toski in March? Yes. Yes, I agree. All right. Let's clone Boris humans and build it. Okay, what did we say? $22 rare and 11 mythic wild cards, so we're good. So what doesn't work in Convoke? Hopeful Initiate goes. We go all 4. I'm gonna go all 4 this first time. That's a lot. 5 for that. I'm not sure. We'll include 1 copy in this very first iteration. I don't know that we want the Surveil lands, I'll be honest. Let's see. Um, okay, so the Epicure Demolition combo. Um, I don't think we want that. Um, Case of the Getaway Express and Karlov Watchdog were other questions. Cut down on Cavern of Souls. How many lands do we have? 21? I think we need to have at least 23. Don't know that I want to go Mistress Foundry. What's the balance? 20. Oh, it's pretty close to even. Let's just go for more basics here. 22. Don't know that we want Sundown Pass. Maybe we do grab the third Cavern of Souls here. Okay. Alright. It's hard to justify 4 copies. Dog Walker. Nah, that's too many steps to creating tokens. No. No, all that's too much. Okay. Actually, Party Crasher is a good idea. Works really well with Convoke. We cut Adeline from the deck. We might. Probably not. We have too many Anthem effects. This does kill something. Happens at the beginning of your next end step, so you don't get it right away when the 3 creatures attack. That's interesting. So many things to think about. I think we might be a bit too ambitious. Don't want to cut Warden of the Inner Sky. How many humans do we have to justify Coppercoat Vanguard? Maybe that's what we cut. Oh, duh. There's a better choice than this now. We're thinking too big with that card. Go all in on an Impa call. Alright. I think this is the final form of the deck. Let's go. Boros Convoke. Standard ladder. Let's play a couple matches before I call it a night.
Whatever you played last time will show up here. You can practice with
Let's
me to start.
go!
Use the Find Match tab to try out a new format.
He's on fire!
All right. We already got the hand. The hand from hell. Let's go. Spectre first. Warden of the Inner Sky. Gleeful Demolition on the clue token. Knight Errant of Eos on turn 2. Y'all, this might be the quickest win I've ever gotten in Standard. Look at that. Turn 2 Insanity. Let's go. Ooh. You know what? Whatever. We'll keep it. We get to scry. Alright, they didn't even want to see. They didn't even want to see. Let's go. We just beat an opponent in a minute 44. I love it. I'm here for it. Oh, let's go. 100% win rate so far. Alright, I'm signing off. Good night. Alright, let's go. Let's go get another one in. I'm telling y'all, I'm testing for standard paper magic. Like, this Boros Convoke deck, I've been thinking about it since DreamHack. I couldn't wait for the set to come out for us to get the Inspector. I figured that's really all the deck needs. And then we got War Leader's Call and Aurelia too. Although, I may slip in one copy of Aurelia. I don't know. Seems like an appropriate card when you're going first. Uh-oh. Alright, we'll keep that. No. I'm down to 13. Alright, let's see if we can beat Domain. Max damage! Let's go!
Another one. 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 Another one.
Can we 2-0 Domain? Opponent is sideboarding like crazy. It took them almost a full minute. Burster Might. Haywire Might? Okay. Oh, I should have destroyed their artifact. Oh well. Nah, we're good. We're leader's call. Yeah, I know. Way is clear. Three, 9, 11 damage. Might board wipe here. Hitline binding, nice. Should have brought in Destroy Evil. I didn't think about it. Got too excited off that last win. Kind of in a bad situation. Yeah. The sun called. Okay. Oh man, we can Resolute into Coppercoat. Yeah, I think we're stuck. I think we just got stuck. Kind of want to give it to them. Alright, game 3. Versus Domain, we want Destroy Evil. We generally also want Anointed Peacekeeper, but what do I swap out for that? I think we nix the Witch Stalker's Frenzy. One copy of Anim Pakal. See what happens. We can beat Domain. Big test. Let's go. Hmm. Can we do this? Can we go super wide and win? See if they have temporary lockdown. That would decimate me right now. Stomper. Okay. Max damage, all nines, all day, baby. Let's go. Took down Domain with Boros Convoke, and we just built it. All right. Thank you for joining me. Follow if you love the content. I'll have this list up in the Aether Hub shortly. I'm late to an appointment with a friend. He's doing fight night in our Damaged In Discord. So we're going to go play some Grand Blue Fantasy. I promised him I'd be there tonight. So I'm going to go do that. But thank you for joining me on this release day special. We opened packs. We talked about all the cards that I wanted to build with. So look forward this weekend of streams, Friday Night Max starting, for us to be building up to Murders of Karlov Manor. But I have an announcement. Before that, tomorrow night on the Streamer Showdown, it's going to be me versus Luis Dragon, and we're going to be playing exclusively Murders at Karlov Manor Brews. So, if you want to see more of this action, some of the stuff that we thought about putting together today, we're going to get to see that in action tomorrow during the Streamer Showdown, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on this Twitch channel. All right, guys. Follow me, especially on Twitter if you want announcements on when I go live, what I'm building, what I'm working on. Follow me on Aether Hub if you want all my deck lists. And come check out the MTG Rebellion. We host weekly State of the Meta videos just for you guys to stay competitive in Standard and other formats. Our first for Murders at Karlov Manor will be next Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to get notifications, and join us for the premiere Tuesday at noon Eastern Standard Time next week, where we'll break down what's going on with Murders at Karlov Manor Standard. All right, guys. Love all of you. Thank you for the support. Big shout out to Athena the Bun for talking and chatting with me about the cards. Big shout out to Jenny Paul Wall, one of my big fans, always making me feel hype. Big shout out to ICPJs, who's an amazing friend and someone who helps put together the channel. All right. Everybody have a good night. As I always say, be good to each other out there. Stay safe. Peace. Untap, upkeep, resist, baby.